David and Mark had been best friends since college. They shared everything: dreams, struggles, and successes. When David got married to Sarah 3 years ago, Mark was his best man. When Mark started his business, David was his first investor and supporter. Mark lived alone in a small apartment above his coffee shop, working long hours every day. David lived with Sarah in a beautiful house just 10 minutes away. Despite their different lifestyles, their friendship remained strong. One rainy evening, Mark was closing his coffee shop when Sarah walked in, soaking wet from the storm. "Sarah, what are you doing out in this weather?" Mark asked, quickly grabbing a towel. "David is away on a business trip for 3 days," she said, shivering. "I felt so lonely at home. I thought maybe I could spend some time here with you." Mark felt uncomfortable, but tried to stay friendly. "Of course, you can stay until the rain stops. Let me make you some hot coffee." As he prepared the coffee, Sarah moved closer to him. "Mark, you're such a good friend. David is so lucky to have you." "David is lucky to have you too," Mark replied, stepping back slightly. "You two are perfect for each other." Sarah touched his arm gently. "But sometimes I wonder, what if I had met you first?" Mark's heart started beating faster. He had always thought Sarah was beautiful, but he had never allowed himself to think about her in that way. She was his best friend's wife. "Sarah, you shouldn't say things like that," he said quietly, moving away from her touch. "Why not?" she asked, stepping closer again. "David doesn't need to know. He's not here. It's just us." Mark felt confused and tempted. Sarah was attractive, and he had been lonely for so long. But then he remembered his friendship with David and the values his grandfather had taught him. "Sarah, please stop," he said firmly. "This is wrong." "Wrong," she laughed softly. "We're both adults. We both feel something, don't we?" Mark closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He thought about David trusting him, about their years of friendship, about what kind of man he wanted to be. "No, Sarah," he said, opening his eyes and looking directly at her. "I keep thinking I cannot betray my friend, and protect your own family and do not invade others. You are David's wife, not mine." Sarah looked surprised. "But Mark, don't you feel lonely? Don't you want someone to love you?" "Of course I feel lonely sometimes," Mark admitted. "But taking my friend's wife won't solve my loneliness. It will only destroy the most important things in my life, my friendship with David and my own honor." Sarah was quiet for a moment, then her eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry, Mark. I don't know what came over me. David has been working so much lately, and I felt forgotten. But you're right, this is wrong." Mark handed her the hot coffee. "Sarah, if you're having problems with David, you should talk to him, not run away from him. Marriage requires work from both people." "You're right," she said, wiping her tears. "I love David. I just forgot that for a moment. Thank you for being stronger than I was." The rain began to slow down. Mark walked to the window and looked outside. "The storm is passing," he said. "Let me drive you home." "Mark," Sarah said as they walked to his car, "will you tell David about tonight?" Mark thought carefully. "I won't tell him about your invitation. But I think you should talk to him about feeling lonely. Good marriages need honest communication." "I will," Sarah promised. "And Mark, thank you for being a true friend to both of us." When David returned from his business trip, Sarah was waiting for him with a special dinner and an important conversation about their relationship. Mark continued to be their friend, but he kept appropriate boundaries. A month later, David visited Mark's coffee shop. "You know, Mark, Sarah told me she had a difficult moment while I was away, and you helped her remember what's important. I don't know what happened exactly, but thank you for being such a good friend to our marriage." Mark smiled. "That's what true friends do, David. We protect each other's happiness, not destroy it." Moral: hands off your friend's wife. Don't betray your buddy. That's how you hold on to the best things in life: trust, friendship, and your own self-respect.